In this episode of Consciousness Engineering, we're going to be talking about some really profound topics: the nature of life, death, reality, and primarily the idea of the human soul. So, I've been experimenting with a new way of leading my life recently. I've always been an extremely goal-driven person. In other words, no matter where I am in life right now, I'd set a goal for where I want to be in different aspects of my life down the future. So I'd have my goals here and here and here and here. And I would always be striving towards these goals. But about 5 months ago, I tried a radical experiment based on the advice of a friend who's going to be joining us on this call. And that experiment was to give up control, was to stop striving for specific goals which I was setting with my conscious mind, but to instead attempt to listen to my soul, talk to my soul, trust my soul, and let things unfold based on where my soul wanted to be. Now, I know that sounds metaphysical. I know it sounds kind of weird. But when I tried this experiment, massive shifts happened in my life, shifts that consciously I would not have made. For example, I stepped down as CEO of one of my companies, a position I'd held for about 5 years. I decided to give up on one of my biggest dreams of all because I realized it didn't make sense anymore. I decided to take on an investor for another company, something I'd sworn I would never do. And then there were lots of massive personal shifts as well in terms of my behavior as a parent, as a person in my family, as a friend. So what exactly caused these profound shifts in my life? It was an idea planted in me by a close friend. Her name is Luminita Savyak. Luminita is best known as Purpose Fairy. She's the author and writer of that famous personal growth blog, purposefairy.com. Luminita is known as the person who wrote the most viral personal growth post in the history of the internet. It was called 15 Things to Give Up to Be Happy. Now, she lives in Romania. She is kind of a celebrity there. Just last week, she was on the front page of the Romanian newspapers, where she was interviewed on her views of life and nature. And she got in a lot of trouble. The Christian church in Romania were very upset by some of her ideas. So join us on this call with Luminita, where we'll be talking about the art of giving up control and being aligned with your soul. And you will learn 2 techniques to help you get there. Just one thing though, as you know, with Consciousness Engineering, I try not to just bring you the typical experts in America that you have a lot of access to. I try to bring to you really special individuals in remote corners of the world who have profound ideas to share. Luminita is one of those experts. Now, she lives in a city called Suceava in Romania. It's a tiny little city. And because of the internet connection connecting to Romania, the call does break at certain points. You hear the audio, but our video breaks. So please forgive us for these breaks. There was no way around it given the huge distances involved. So let's get started.